My name is Brenda Zlamany, and I am the July Artist in Residence at Glacier National Park. I'm here to work on a project called Climate in America. It's a project that, it's an itinerant portraitist project that is taking place all over America. This is my fourth stop. I started in Key West after the hurricanes, and then I was in California working after the fires. And then I was at Denali National Park while polychrome was still open, exploring the melting permafrost and how that was affecting the park. And now I'm here at Glacier. So the Itinerant Portraitist is a project that I began in 2011. It started with the Fulbright in Taiwan. In that project, I painted 888 Taiwanese Aboriginal people and had an exhibition in the museum in Taiwan and at TECO, New York, which is Taiwan's de facto embassy. And when I did that project, I discovered that actually portraiture had a way of connecting people and dealing with issues that was surprising to me and really pleasing. That the project was as much about portraiture as it was about uncovering the issues and bringing people together and creating community. So after I did the project in Taiwan, I started an ongoing multi-year project called the Itinerant Portraitist that's been going on for a decade now. It's taken me all over the world, to Saudi Arabia to paint women, to Bratislava to paint Yugoslavian refugees, to a nursing home in the Bronx to paint people who were nearing 100. And each project has an issue that is being dealt with. So this project now, Climate in America, it was begun before COVID and then it was stopped because travel stopped, and now it's being continued. And in this project, I'm traveling all over the country and seeing how people are being affected by changing climate. I don't go in with an agenda, I just listen to stories and hear what people are experiencing. So in Glacier, there are 26 remaining glaciers, and I'm doing 26 portraits. Each one represents a glacier. I'm really interested in people's relationship to the land. I'm interested in, it's funny because this is a park residency and most people would be interested in painting the landscape. And I'm not really that interested in the landscape. I'm interested in the people who make the landscape available to us and working in the landscape. What I love about doing this project is it's very social. Each painting represents a relationship, and a conversation. Each person, people are allowed to talk when I paint, and they're encouraged to talk, actually. And the conversations inform the paintings. I'm not trying to get a photographic likeness, because I don't actually think photography is true. I actually think the way you see people is a composite of many different expressions, and by having them talk and reveal themselves to me as I paint them, I'm creating an image that is a moving image in my head that is the true image of how I see them. Maybe it's not how they think they look, but it's how I see them. So when I look at these portraits, what I see is a relationship, a friendship. These are connections and bonds. And I've probably done over 3,000 portraits with the Itinerant Portraitist. So these paintings are actually joining a group of portraits. All of the portraits are being kept together as a single group, a time capsule. And everybody is connected through having passed through me and sort of out my brush onto the page. So I think of it as a community and a way to explore issues, and possibly as a way of making the public aware of issues, because when these works are shown, they're often shown with films, and the content that was explored in the portraits is presented along with the paintings. The paintings, I like it when the paintings turn out well, but these paintings occur in the moment, and they're more about the experience than the actual concept of getting a product. Like my oil paintings take a year, and these are only done in the moment, sitting down with the person, and they are not touched up. They are what happens in that moment. I'm forced to see and see quickly, and to capture that moment, because there's no going back. And watercolor is an unforgiving medium. And it works best when it is fresh. So, you try to see the essential lines of what makes a face work. And all of these people are fascinating people. This is Larry, who works in the booth, who worked for the IRS, and everybody here has a story and has a reason that they ended up in the park. It's diverse reasons. People have it's a wide variety of ages and different life journeys that bring them here, but they're all here with a love and respect of nature that and a desire to present it to the public in a way that is safe and appreciated and protected. So my side project, so to speak, is a series of self-portraits in the landscape. So I'm doing 11 of them. I will not finish any of them here. They're on panel, but I will get all 11 started. This one is in my backyard at night, and they're not finished. Here is backyard at daytime. This one is avalanche. Getting started. Let me just put this over here so I can move a few over. You don't need to see all of them, and this one I'm just starting today. It's from my hike at Iceberg. So the reason I'm doing these is, well, the way I start them is I do the watercolors of the landscape that I'm interested in my notebook. So this is the Belly River. And this is the backyard. You can see this is the mountain. This is the kind of color I was seeing and the kind of sky. And the reason this is the challenging project is because as a city person, I never look at landscape because we just simply don't have much landscape, especially in my section of Brooklyn, which is really industrial. And so I'm really grateful to the park for inviting me to be in the landscape, although I am not interested in being a landscape artist, and I actually don't think Glacier needs another landscape. I think it's been done. But I was thinking about the Mona Lisa and the way the landscape, I'm a portraitist, and I think about the Mona Lisa, what makes it so great, and the way the landscape informs her smile, the way that mountain is coming down into her face, and that squiggly road actually gives a sort of humor. Like, actually, you could say the landscape is creating the psychological moment if you took the figure out of the landscape. So this is the first time I'm really deeply exploring portraiture in the landscape using myself as the subject. So this is actually, this is my risky project, my challenging project, but it's actually like, I'm 5 paintings started into it, and I'm really understanding how it works, and this is like a hugely exciting thing for me to have come across this possibility of landscape, and there are so many ways of dividing the rectangles and, glaciers, mountains, streams, everything, and to try to figure out, like, where does that ice cut that nose, what's going on here, what is it going to make this figure think? It's just, yeah, it's a wildly exciting thing. What is the, how do these lines inform the face? So this is my challenging project that I started here that I would not ever have done anywhere else. And Glacier, this is like, Itinerant Portraitist has been great, but this is kind of the surprising gift that I'm taking home with me, is that I am excited about putting the figure into the landscape so that the landscape can inform the figure, because in the end, that's what it does. And yeah, so I'm grateful for that.